We are back! Yes! With some more Train Simulator Classic. Okay, so this is a recent, well, but not as recent as it should have been, request video. So this request video, this time, has come from Lucosa. Let's have a look at, I've got it here, what it was. Okay, so it's Class 87. This one I'll be doing the return trip from his Class 87 recent video. So I've got to go from Euston to Birmingham, obviously on the fast route. Stops will be Watford Junction, Hemel Hampstead, Milton Keynes, Rugby, Coventry, and Birmingham New Street. Okay, so yeah, weather, season and time are all up to me. Consist needs to be the same, so that's 87 plus 9 carriages. Now I think I couldn't get the Mark 3s to attach, so I've got Mark 2s on here. Okay. Right, so yeah, I made this as a custom consist I made. We're going to do it at 6 o'clock at night, or in the evening. I've got to be brutally honest. I did have a previous attempt at making this video, but because of my lack of understanding of the train and how it reacts, especially during what they were called, where there's no electric. I was about to say neutral zone, and it sounds a bit like Star Trek near the Romulan space. But when there's a neutral area where there's no electricity, you do have to do things a little bit differently. On there, you've got to wind back the tapper back to the notch 0, and then go back up again. So yeah, I was kept wondering why my train suddenly just lost all acceleration and just wouldn't do anything until it ground to a halt. But there we go. And I had a few other technical issues as well. So the video in the end that I did was absolutely unwatchable. And then after that, I got man flu. That was nice of life to give me that, wasn't it? So there was no way I could record a YouTube video in that state. So, but here we are back once again. And I think we're pretty much ready to go. So, let's get this underway. Right, okay, here we are at Euston. Here's our train here. This is the livery we've gone for. Bit Jaffa cakey, isn't it? And then here is the train. So we've got first class carriage there. Then we got a normal one, another normal one. Yep, that is a normal one too. And that. And that. And that. This one is the guard's carriage. You can see it's slightly different. Okay, so you've got different doors, and we get on them, tie your bikes up, and obviously you've got the blue stripes there. And we've got another first class at the end. So yeah, we got 9 coaches all in all, and and our loco. While we're doing that, let's get the train set up. Don't think we'll need like cab lighting or anything yet. Right, let's turn the main power on. Master key. And then don't think we'll need our headlights at the moment or any instrument lights. Okay, let's just wait and see if we're waiting for anybody else to get on. No, I think all the doors are shut. Okay, right. Okay, so we can come off the brakes. Let's just have to do it this way. Okay, there we go. That's doing it eventually. Right, so we're in a 15 miles an hour limit, so let's do that a little bit and then just hold it. See, we're all right, we're in the green there. Probably I forget how to notch up now. Do you hold N and do it? Yeah. Okay, we will be in a 25 mile an hour zone very soon. So we're not accelerating too hard, but I just want to reduce it a little bit. I'll just run it down there. That slowed it down. So yeah, another thing you may have noticed, that I'm using player train only, because otherwise I get stuck at that red signal we just passed, and the ETA just goes up and up and up, and it's saying, you know, about 11 hours. Right, so there's a 40 mile an hour zone coming up. But then straight away it's a 30, so we can probably just disregard that. I hope to God none of these signals are for us. Oh no, we're going down the hill, so yeah, we're going to have to do some braking here. So let's run it down. Because this is easy to get caught speeding here. So I'm going to run it down. Yes, thank you. Yes, we know it's green. See, we are accelerating here. It's very similar to platform 17 at Clapham Junction. Right, okay. We're still accelerating. Not anymore. Let's run it up a bit. Oh, there we are, really are losing speed there now. Okay, we will be in a 50 very shortly. Run it up a bit more. And then, oh, we have a nice speed increase to 55. How will we cope with that? Right, I'm going to start running down when we get to about 45, because I really don't want to speed if I can help it. It's very hard to see where my ammeter is at the moment. There we go. Still accelerating a little bit more, and I held it down. Okay, so I've got to run it down to 0, which it is to notch 0, and then run it back up again. Oh, of course the H key doesn't work. Right, yeah, I'm in the green on me amps. I think we'll stick with this rate of acceleration. Until we get past this 80, and then we'll crank it up to the top notch. Right, which will be very shortly. And then, not long, it will be 100 after that. Right, okay, here we go. Let's watch those amps. I don't mind going into yellow, briefly. Oh, it's hard to see. How do I zoom in? Yeah, it's in the yellow. Okay, well, we are hitting 100 now. So our first stop on the way is going to be a Watford Junction. I don't believe we have too far to go before we hit that. Oh, we've actually got a trackside view. Wonders will never cease. Anyway, yeah, I'm really not a big fan of this tapper changing system. I mean, it's good for finding a sweet spot, I suppose, when you're at the speed limit, but God, it is so much faff. Right, okay, so we are nearing the speed limit. Let's... Oh, God, FPS there. Let's run down a little bit. We're 105. And then 120. I don't know what the maximum speed of this thing is. So I can't see it being more than 120 just because of the age of the thing, but, you know, who knows? Okay, so we are cranking up to the top notch again, where it is now, and we will leave it there and just, because we can't go any higher, we will just leave it on the hold, because we're holding it at the top. And as we hit 125, so we've got a nice fast section here. Right, that's Wembley Central. I imagine we will be able to see the stadium over sort of there on the right. Unless we've already passed it. Let's have a quick look outside. And there it is. So we will blast through Wembley at maximum acceleration and fairly near maximum speed. Not a great part of London to live in. And that's people who live there who've told me that. There we go, that was completely empty. Obviously no one goes in and out of Wembley when when there's no match being played there or event on. See, to be fair, the last few times I've been to Wembley, it's not been to watch football. It just shows you how well Chelsea are doing in cup matches at the moment, doesn't it? No, it was a Oasis concert and 2 American football games. Oh, I think we've just hit a neutral section. Yeah, our speed is dropping, so we've got to now notch down to 0. Yeah, you can see the amps has gone right down here. So yeah, notching down. Okay, now we're down because it pings back up again. Now we can start going up. Yeah, this is rising now. Just make sure it stays in the green. But we have lost a bit of speed. Harrow and Wealdstone is coming up. So that was a neutral section of the line, neutral zone, neutral section. But now we're back accelerating again. So yeah, that's just something we've got to do. That's just the way the train and the tap of gears work. Okay, Harrow can fuck off. Yeah, isn't that the same Wealdstone as the notorious viral video, the Wealdstone Raider? The little bloke. You're going, you ain't got no ground, you ain't got no fans, come on, oh, you want some? Oh, I don't think we've got too long to go for Watford. I didn't even see what that station was. Just flew by, blink and you miss it when you're on this fast line. Okay, so we are now in double figures for the miles left to go. Another station I haven't seen the name of. Oh, 110 coming up. Mind you, we haven't even got there yet. I think 108. We're not really going to get much quicker than that, I don't think. We're on a 1 in 340. Okay, so there's Bushy is coming up, so we know that Watford is not far behind it at all. Right, we're doing 109. Might tap down a bit. Oh, I held end down. Did it again. Oh, and it did it again. I've got N held down. Maybe it might... You know, I think you're not supposed to hold N down. I think it might be T. Or O. Yeah, it's O. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that was a pilot error there. So, my bad. Right, there's Watford Junction. So, let's start slowing down now anyway. Hopefully I've left enough time for the braking. God, I keep getting some FPS buffering there. Yeah, I think we can reduce this braking a bit. Yeah, it braked a little bit too early there. But no matter. Better than overshooting. Just makes you a little bit later. Here we are at Watford Junction with quite a few platforms. Right, just make sure we get all the coaches on the platform. There we go, that'll do us. Okay, right, let's let everyone off. There we go, all those slam doors are open, a lot of them, look at that. But this is wonderful Watford. There's a multi-storey car park there. Right, let's go back in. I can't remember if we get a guard signal in this version of the Class 87. It is the Armstrong Powerhouse version. Don't look like it, does it? Okay, let's just... Right, okay, yeah, so all the doors are... shut. Right, so it's come off the brakes, and then we'll go straight away into there, and we'll keep that up until it goes to yellow. Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. Because we are on 110, so as soon as it drops back down to green, I will run up again, which is doing now. Let's run up until we get something up quite high in the yellows. And then we'll do it. I find this is quicker than tapping God knows how many times, especially when you haven't really got to worry about the speed limit. Okay, we're still in the yellow. I think we're in the green, so let's go again. I don't think we're going to get into the red. Oh, I think we just did. Yeah, it's very hard to see. Or have I just got into a neutral section? Yeah, I've lost all my... So let's run it down and then run it up again. It went, ooh, didn't it? So yeah, we can see down here it's coming back down. So once it hits 0 and then bounces up a little bit, like that, then we can go for it. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, is it doing it? No. Okay. I mean, I can see electric stuff there. Maybe I've is that the fault light on? Yeah, the fault light. Reset the pantograph. There we go. Yeah, that was me. I must have got into the red. Right, we'll keep an eye on this time. Closer eye on it. Right, it's in the yellow. So let's drop it. Let's let it go right back down. Yeah, I thought I'd got that off to a T before. Obviously, it's, yeah, I should have zoomed in on it a bit more. Headlights are on. I think we're there. Yeah, God, these are hard to see. I'll just keep it zoomed in a bit for now. Right, Kings Langley. We are not stopping near there. Well, let's run it up. Well, I can see it now. It's up there. We are pretty much at the top notch. Okay, that's more like it. Well, I'll try not to do that again. So our next stop, I believe, is Hemel Hampstead. Let me just check the request text. Yeah, Hemel Hampstead. And after that, Milton Keynes. And then we'll be well and truly heading into the Midlands after that. We'll have Rugby, Coventry, and then good old Brum. Right, let's just make sure we are right at the top. Yeah, I think we are. Right, there goes Kings Langley. Okay, so we're at 125. I think the fastest I've been in this thing is about 112, so I'm not too worried. Apsley, is it Apsley? Is that how you pronounce it? There we go, there's our trackside view. Our pantograph is up, isn't it? Yeah. Listen to that old school clattering. I love it. Oh, yeah, look, we got one. Right, we are at 102. And there's no speed limit reductions from what we can see. So we will just carry on. Or not, because there's Hemel. So let's run this down and sort of start applying some brakes. I won't go quite as mad on the braking as I did before, but I'll overcorrect if I... Yeah. Just correct it slightly there. Right, okay, what was that for? This platform's not quite as long. But let's get the whole thing on it. There we go. Okay, we can stop here because look, we're not 12 carriages. Okay, everybody who needs to get off, can get the hell off now. This is Hemel Hampstead, where the Dixon Curry's head office is. I'm sure they're inundated with complaints. Right, that was it. Obviously we know there's no guard signal. Right, let's see if we can do this without it giving us a fault. Right, so we'll come off the brakes. Okay, we'll ramp that up until we get into the yellow, and then we'll hold it. We'll let it run down again until we get to the green, because this is 125 limit. Go a little bit more, and then we'll run up again. Let's just keep a much closer eye on it. There we go. I don't know if this is a recommended way to do it. It's just something I improvised. But it just seems quicker than going through all the tapper taps. I mean, if we're on a 25 limit, it will be different. We would use the tapper to accelerate, so we've got more control over it. Right, let's go again. Oh yeah, we're about here. Yeah, about halfway. Anyway, next stop is Milton Keynes. I still don't know what that AWS alert was all about, because there was no speed limit reduction, and it was a green signal. And I'd hope so too, because I am the only cunt on this entire route. Oh, about halfway up the taps. And we're now back in the green, so let's go up a bit more. It's going up a lot slower now. So we'll let it drop a little bit, and then we'll do the last few. Right, yeah, we're down there. I reckon we can get away with it. Yeah, we're at the top. We got a nice bit of scenery there. As I likely said on previous videos, I do think the West Coast main line is a lot more picturesque. There's a lot more to see than the East Coast. A lot more. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, the East Coast one just, I don't know if it's on here. It just seems a bit barren, doesn't it? Right, Birmingham Hampstead is next. We'll be going straight through that. I'm not even going to change the acceleration, because we're not going to be getting to 115 anytime soon. Although it does look like we're going uphill, doesn't it? Right, now, on a video, a very recent one of Luco's, as he put the question out to people, what do you find is the most difficult route? Now, I don't have a lot of routes. I mean, he's got stacks of them. But what I do have is I've got Train Sim World 4 and a few routes for that as well, is what you've seen on here. I could tell you the most difficult train, apart from the steam locomotives, I've found this one to be the most difficult, because the tap changer and what you got to do if you accidentally click it into off and for me it's over engineering, I think, over complicated. But for routes, I mean, the one I had a bit of trouble with was I think it's the Just Trains route, which is Newcastle to Edinburgh Waverley. Now that was purely because some of the speed limits were not reflected in the HUD, and so I would get a speeding fine, or a speeding misdemeanor for something that I couldn't see coming, and that happened multiple times on that route. And there's a couple of others, but I think this one had the most, so I did find it the most sort of irritating because of that. I mean, it's very picturesque, obviously, when you're going through Berwick-on-Tweed and going parallel to the cliff over the sea. I mean, that's fantastic, but as far as driving it, and there was lots of speed changes on it as well. And when you get further down there, it's mostly at 125, a bit like what we're doing now. So yeah, you've got to have a bit of concentration about you. So yeah, I mean, yeah, London to Brighton, piece of piss, same as London to Portsmouth, and the Wessex line going from Southampton to Salisbury and everywhere like that. That's a great route, and it's not too bad to drive. So yeah, I mean, for the routes I've got, that's one I've found to be fairly difficult. The Chatham line was fine. The route I had to do on it wasn't, because I had to reverse a few times, but that's just a limitation of it. It didn't make it difficult, it just made it a bit tedious. But yeah, I really do ought to get some more routes. Trouble is, there's the freebie ones out there, and Lucosa's showcased off a few of them that look really good, but it's the bloody prerequisites, and a lot of the prerequisites for them I don't have, so I'm going to have to buy some more ones from Steam before I can even start looking at them. So yeah, bring on the next sale. It's probably going to be Easter. Right, I've just realised I must have gone through a neutral section, because I've been rabbiting away, and my power has been dropped out completely. See, I was looking at this here and thinking it was okay, but no, look, I've been gradually losing speed without even bloody realising it. So now I've got to run this down until that drops all the way down and then pings back up. Which it's just done there, and then run up. So we'll be doing the same as what we did before. If it starts getting too high up in the yellows, we'll move it to hold as we go through Tring. Right, there we go, that's high up in the yellows. But mind you, look, we're nearly at top whack, aren't we? Yeah, I should have kept my eye on the ball a bit there. Right, we are at top, so yeah, we didn't cause an engine fault for it to trip out like what happened before. Okay, so yeah, that was driver error number 2. check something very quick. Okay, so yeah, we are now 79 miles. Now we're getting up to a decent speed and not not forgetting to react to the neutral sections. We are good. Right, there we go. That's done my personal admin done. So yeah, I can't think of any other questions that have cropped up that I haven't yet answered. But if you've got any that you'd like me to answer on the next video, then just sling it in the comments. Right, here we go. We're going through Cheddington. All these weird, wonderful places I've never heard of. Treen, Cheddington. Let's have a little look around the scenery. Yeah, see, that side there, that's how most of the East Coast main line looks. And this, we've got more scenery. I mean, it's slightly less than normal, but, you know, this is a lot nicer. Look, we've got more hills and different buildings and that. Right, here we go. It's Cheddington. God, there's actually some people here. More popular than Wembley, look. Alright, so we are at 113. I can't see us go much faster than that, he says, just as it goes up to 114. Of course it did. That tea was cold. I forgot to put it on my special tea hot plate. Great gadget. Turn it on, you set it to either ceramic or glass or metal, and obviously it's ceramic, and you put your tea on it. And I've made a full cup of tea before. Forgotten about it because I've been doing something on the PC, and then half an hour later, oh Christ, me tea, and there it is, and it's still as hot as when I just made it. Well, we are going pretty nippy, aren't we? But we do, however, have a speed reduction as we go through Leighton Buzzard. So let's just let's try tapping down a bit. Oh no, oh, was it O? Oh, and I've lost all power anyway. So let's run it down. Let's do a little bit of braking just so we can go to 110. Yeah, I'm sure I held the O key down then. I'm positive I did. Right, there's a Leighton Buzzard. I couldn't really take a look through it. Right, I don't know how far we need to tap up, but I'll keep an eye on it. In fact, we're not tapping up, are we? Let's just set it to there. Okay, we have lost a little bit of speed, but that's fine. We're at 125 again in a minute. Look, I'm holding O down. Right, tap up. That worked. Tap down. That worked. But it shouldn't let me do all the way up. I'm doing something wrong, aren't I? Tap down. No. That's me. I'm doing something wrong. I mean, I can get away with it by just if I go here, I can just do that or that. So that's operating it, but that's going all the way down if I hold it too long. So yeah, pretty sure it was O. Well, anyway, neither here nor there. We're managing all right. We'll just have to be a bit careful with the key presses. So we should not be too far from Milton Keynes. Now I've driven through Leighton Buzzard before, and it wasn't a particularly nice area. I had to go through Dunstable too. It was an early TomTom sat-nav took me all through that way, and yeah, it was not all that nice. Especially Dunstable, it did look very run down. Right, I think we're on a downhill, yeah, so we should accelerate up fairly high. When we get to Milton Keynes, I will pause the video off screen, and I'll double check the key I'm supposed to press to just do a tap changer up and down. It says O-I is one of them. I was convinced it was, because I did N first, and I realised that was wrong, and then I was like, oh, there's O. But, obviously, it's not, or I'm doing it wrong. Right, let's go to Bletchley. We're just about to go through it. We haven't got any speed limit reductions, so we can take our eye off the ball for a bit while we do a external view. Lots of people there. There we go. Fairly industrial looking area. Obviously had lots of code breakers during the World War II, based out of Bletchley, weren't they? Right, what's that for? What's the signal we've got coming up? It's green. But we are coming up to Milton Keynes, so let's wang that down. So yeah, AWS is telling us we've got a station that we're not destined to stop at, even though we are, but it's a quick drive. Interesting. I need to do a hell of a lot harder braking than this. This has got overshoot all over it. We might get away with it. I think we will. I think we've gone and got away with it. Some of those horrible stations that bends around. It's very hard to see where the end is. Okay, let's just coast to until we get as much of the train on as we can, which is pretty much now. There we go. Right, Milton Keynes. Everybody's getting off. There we go, Milton Keynes. I've driven through Milton Keynes as well when I had to go to Newport Pagnell. And I could not use the motorway because I was only a learner motorcyclist at the time. So I was not allowed on the M1. So I had to go all up the A roads, which took me Milton Keynes, Stony Stratford, all sorts of weird and wonderful places. Right, okay. I'm just going to pause it here and check the key bindings. Right, it's U, not O, so I was almost right. It was a vowel. Okay, right, everybody is on. So let's take this off and run this up. Let's try it. U. That's it, that is working properly. Anyway, let's do our old method for now, just because we can go all the way up to 125. Okay, are we back down in the green yet? Yeah, we'll just get up to sort of a little bit quicker. It takes a lot longer to get up and climb up yellow now, doesn't it? See, look, we are at 60-ish there on the tap changer, so we're, yeah, we're 2/3 of the way up. And we're almost back down in the green. Let's run her up again. I think we can go all the way. Yep, we're all the way. And we're just below the red, so that'll do. Not causing any undue stress on the train. Wolverton coming up now. Okay, obviously we're not going to be stopping there. Our next stop is Rugby. So we're now 61 miles, so round about the halfway point. That's some nice scenery there. Just one track of raising that, I think, could be a bit precarious. Especially if you're in a long freight train that has the habit of derailing every time you use the brakes. Right, here we are at Wolverton Station. Again, literally 2 people in the whole station. That's the area. It's quite a small little area, isn't it? It's just a big forest and fields now, and a nice little stream. Okay, we're up doing the ton already. Hopefully, it'll just be straight cruising. With not too many speed limit reductions. Obviously, Rugby's quite a central station, isn't it? So it will probably be a fair amount of speed limit reductions there. I mean, it's not that it matters to us, but because we're stopping there anyway. And I think Coventry, which will be our stop after. But we shall see. And this looks like an old disused station on this side, unless that's just where they've let the platform go to ruin, because that's the bit no one goes on, because it's the fast route avoiding area. Okay, yeah, so apart from a couple of errors that are my fault, it's been a fairly straightforward run. I mean, yeah, I'm allergic to the tap changing mechanism, so, but I think I've sussed it enough to be able to sort of use it if I really have to. Obviously, there's the Class 86 also has it, but it doesn't have as many notches on it, so it's a little bit simpler, but you've still got to drive it exactly the same way as this. And if you use just the tapper to go up through the changes, it'd be a lot less. As I've not really been using it, only really at the start. But I'll probably have to use it a little bit if we have to like stay at 70 or whatever. Or even 100 or 110, because look, we're doing 112 now. But I like it like this because, yeah, it just eats through the miles. So you're doing nearly 2 miles a minute at this speed. Oh, we've just hit a neutral section. I heard the engine wind down, and I saw our amps completely bottom out there. So look, I'm put it in rundown mode. So once it gets to the bottom and pings up, as usual, we will then run it all the way back up again. And there it is. Yeah, it's a strange quirk, and I think it's because when the power goes, you've got to go back down and build it up again. You can't just go straight in where you left off. I'm still not quite 100% yet after this man flu. Okay, so we are back up at the top of the notches, so we can put that back into hold. We get a trackside view from down in there. Let's see if we got that, but no, it didn't happen, did it? But we do here. And look, we're going 106 there. We are tanking it a bit. So, I can't remember how far Rugby is. Oh, just had a little scenery pop there. I think I've got my draw distance set to maximum. I think I'll have to go back and check my settings again. What I don't have is the vegetation enhancement. I know Armstrong Powerhouse do one you got to pay for, but I'm pretty sure there's a free one out there. What was that we just went over? I was probably too late to see now. Looked like a canal. Mind you, there's quite a lot of canals up in this part of the country. Now, that would be a not very interesting simulator game to play, a narrowboating simulator. I mean, it'd be good fun getting off and opening and shutting the locks and all that, but the rest of it, you're going so bloody piddly slow. No, it's something on that it would be, you know, you got to do it for real or not bother. And I've never done it. It's always something I've wanted to do. Lots of friends who've done it, and they've had a right laugh. Don't think it's something, unless you got a, you know, you got a bit of strength behind you. It's not something you could do on your own. You need at least one other person with you. That's while you're getting off and doing the locks, so they can steer into it and all that. Otherwise, you'd be on off, on off, on off. Well, there's probably people who have done that. But yeah, no, I'd definitely go with at least one other person. Yeah, probably the West Country, around that way. That's a friend of mine I used to commute home with. He used to do that every year. Right, no sign of any stations, although we do have a tunnel coming up. Oh, and a speed limit reduction to 120. God, I better slam those brakes on. Unless we do have another neutral section of the track. No, I've just checked on the amps there, and we are still high up in the greens. Right, we're now on the 120. We're doing 118. I think if it gets to 119, I'll do a few taps down now that I know how to do it properly. Or maybe not, because it's 125 coming up. cruise through it, and we're only 43 miles now from Birmingham New Street. That was 110 limit, but obviously I don't think it applies to us at the moment. And it's not even coming up in the distance, because that's a triangle, isn't it, when it's coming up. Rugby, yeah, I've never really got on with rugby. I've tried to watch it, even the World Cup. I know it's the Six Nations, I think, coming up, is it? Something's coming up soon. Well, I used to have to play it at school. Right, we are quite raised up here, aren't we? Let's have a little look outside. Yeah. We're up on a great big verge, aren't we? Yeah, interesting. So the trackside view that we're not going to get. But that definitely looks like a canal. Look, there's even a towpath on it. And there's a motorway. Could it be the M40? There we go, trackside view at 114. We are losing some speed, maybe it's because we are going uphill. Yeah, look, it's got to be a major motorway there. I'm guessing the M40 or the M1. Well, we are losing speed, yeah, and the reason is, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know, yeah, another neutral section. So let's run the notches down and then run them back up again. We didn't exactly lose a lot, 10 miles an hour. Right, there we go. And it's 110 coming up anyway. So I will probably not go all the way up to the top. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. And then we can just do little minor adjustments. Like that. Yeah, because I think we're at the top of the hill, and everyone is actually dead flat. Bit of track here. We can get up a couple more, can't we? Because we've got 125 coming up, sort of as we come out of this tunnel. Yeah, I think we will. It will be unusual if we hit 110 before we get into the 125 speed limit. So I'm almost at the maximum notch as well, 100%. I'm on about 95% on that. There we go, 125. Let's take it to the top. Tell you what, on a long journey, even when you're playing it on the computer, what is real like a train driver, you do need a big old thermos flask of tea, because I've run out. If I go and make some in the kitchen, then I will probably miss my stop or miss a speed limit or anything like that. So yeah, you do need a big thermos flask. Or a maitre d'. Bring it over. Just like if you were flying a plane. Oh, well, guess what's happened again? More neutral. I think there's another one coming up here as well. I think it's where it's sort of orange on the HUD, isn't it? So I'll wait till we get... Oh, okay, 2 lights. Ah, rugby. So let's not bother. Let's start braking. Probably a bit excessive. That's red. Red. That's orange. But that's after rugby, so I didn't know I'm stopping at rugby. Right, I think I need a little bit more. Maybe it's, yeah, those points, I don't know. But look, it's green anyway at the end, so there's not really anything we have to worry too much about. Right, let's get as much of the train on as we can. There's 1.5 more coaches. There we go. So, all trains stop by that S. And here we are at rugby. Everybody get off if you need to. Yeah, this is much more built up now. So yeah, we're getting a fairly good FPS considering how built up it is. I can't see any passengers though. Want to hear those train doors slam. See? That was just like the real thing. Oh dear. Mind you, I don't think they're Armstrong Powerhouse passenger coaches, those Mark IIs. Right, okay. 75 miles an hour coming up. Actually, no, we're in a 60, and then it will be 75 in a bit. So we're not going to go too mad on the acceleration. Yeah, there it is, the 75. mean, there's obviously some points or some sharp curves. This is why we have this speed limit. Yeah, that could be it all up ahead there. Look, there's lots of points and junctions and all sorts. I really won't be too long before we're maximum speed. I'll leave the acceleration at this rate and then I'll run it down when we get close to 75. Run it down until it stops anyway. And then I can do some sort of small changes with the tapper. Yeah, nice reservoir or something there. So it's still quite built up, isn't it? Oh, we're 125 now. Didn't even see that. Oh, neutral section or something. Yeah, now it's just come back on again. Right, okay. So yeah, that didn't appear on the HUD, that shows 125, unless I just completely managed to ignore it. Right, there we go. We're all the way up to the top notch without going anywhere near the red. We just went about halfway up the yellow. So our next stop is Coventry. Which is our penultimate stop on this route. So only 27 miles to go. And the acceleration on this is quite impressive. That's my view. I mean, I don't like the tap changer, but the acceleration on this thing, when you know you're using it without going into the red, is pretty impressive. I also like a lot of, I think I've noticed on the Armstrong Powerhouse, when you're braking and you're coming into a station, once you sort of get under 10 miles an hour, braking tends to slow down quite a lot. You've got to come to a complete standstill from 10 to 0. You have to put a lot more brakes on than you did have to when you were slowing down from like 90 to 20 or whatever. I don't know if that's by design or it's just me not understanding it properly, but yeah, that's what I've noticed. Right, okay, I can't see any neutral sections coming up. We are on a downhill, so it's helping us accelerate. 1 in 678. So I think we'll be doing, I think Coventry is about 10 miles. It's pretty, I think slightly nearer Birmingham than it is to Rugby. Yep, we are approaching the sort of maximum speed that this train can do. Helped a little bit by Sir Isaac Newton. Oh no, it isn't really, because we're on a perfectly flat gradient. So it's being hindered by friction, which I suppose is Newton again, isn't it? But it's not been too bad a run so far. I think I've managed to avoid so far, and I always say that with trepidation, I've managed to avoid speeding tickets. Although, yeah, now we're getting to the much more built up areas and we've got to maintain a slower speed with the tap changer. Yeah, that could be where it could get interesting. Right, and there are... Oh, speaking of speed reductions, one right there, 75. Oh, and we're going to be at Coventry already. So... And the AWS again. And it's a green light, but that will be for the speed limit drop. God, this braking is taking its time, isn't it? So yeah, we got to Coventry a bit quicker than I thought. Right, okay. Have we got enough brakes on? I think we're good. Might have too many on. Actually, no, I'll crank it up a bit. Right, hopefully it's another nice long platform. Okay, we'll just coast a little bit. Just make sure we can get as much of the train on, which is, i.e., all of it, as possible. That's it, we're all on. No, I'm just looking at the braking now. It is braking at the same rate. It just seems slower. Don't know why. Okay, right. Here we are at Coventry. And I've been to Coventry many a time. Because my brother's outlaws all come from here. So yeah, I've been on multiple occasions, although not for a while. There's Coventry, very built up, extremely built up. Well, it's a city, isn't it? And their football team is doing pretty well. I think they're going for promotion, aren't they? Right, all the doors are shut. They could be in the Premiership, if I'm not mistaken. They carry on. So it's never too late to choke. Yeah, the stadium's up sort of in North Coventry, near the where you get on the M6, I think. Is it the Reebok Stadium? Okay, so doing our usual acceleration method. It's a 75 speed limit, which will shortly be 95. That red signal does not apply to us. Oh, and then we're at 100. So I reckon it won't be long before we're at the 100% notch again. Canley, somewhere else. I've not got the remotest idea of it. Never heard of it. Okay, so right, we will be very shortly on the 100. I probably can't imagine us having a higher speed limit. We're only 17 miles from Brum now, aren't we? So I'll have to do a bit of speed control as we get into the 90s. No, did that a bit late, didn't I? I was too busy watching the dials and stuff. Right. Okay, this is Tile Hill. No, yeah, I've heard of Tile Hill. I'm sure my brother lived there for a bit when he started dating his missus. Right. Okay, so let's run this down a little bit until it sort of stops accelerating. And then we can do some minor adjustments using the U key. Ooh, there we go. So we'll let it creep up to near 100 and then we'll just drop it down a couple of notches as we go through Tile Hill. There's people there. But we do have a 110 coming up. Is it Berkswell or Barkswell? Christ knows. Yes, that's yeah, quite close stations, just over a mile apart, weren't they? Yeah, I think it was this curve here and the previous one that kept it to the 100 speed limit in this area. Oh, of course, we've just gone through a neutral section and lost all our power, and now it's back, but we're going to have to do the usual again. There's been quite a lot of them, hasn't there? This train is not good for when there's a lot of neutral sections. Right, so I'll get it up to about where it was. About there, wouldn't it? We'll just keep it on the accelerator, or maybe it was a little bit less than that. Doesn't matter, we've got plenty of time to adjust our speed. We are going downhill on 1 in 130. And Hampton in Arden. Okay, if you say so. See, the amount of times I've been to Coventry, I've never heard any of these places. Just Tile Hill. Oh, we've got 100 coming up. So let's make sure we're not accelerating at all. Well, we're losing speed. A hell of a lot of notches on this thing. Right, we're gaining it. Here we are at Hampton in Arden. Now, there's Birmingham International. Now, is that a stop? Well, let's just notch down a bit. Don't think Birmingham International is a stop on the request. No, we're just going to go through that. But we're only 9 miles away from the big one. So they're sort of maintaining speed. Obviously you've got to keep tapping up and down as the gradients change. There we got Birmingham International. Can't see any aeroplanes. Lots of flyovers. And then Marston Green coming up. And then I imagine we will start soon getting some major speed limit decreases. Because yeah, it's I mean, we're chewing through the miles quite well here because we're still doing a ton. We got Marston Green. It's more suburban. And there's our plane. Look. Oh, it's going faster than us. Imagine that, eh? And then almost immediately, see, just over a mile, it's Lee Hall, is it? I think we're on an uphill gradient, so we can maybe do an up tap on here. Oh, they're coming thick and fast now, these stations. And Stetchford. Well, that's tiny, fairly insignificant little station, that, but it is in quite a built-up residential area. Might as well stay on this view until we get to Stetchford. And here we are. Here's Stetchford. There looks like a few council flat blocks there, tower blocks. Now, is it me or have we got no power again? And it's back. Yeah, we've just gone through another neutral section. Right, okay, so let's start winding this down. Although we have got to break down and lose 30 miles an hour very soon, just after Adderley Park. So I'm well up for just coasting now for a bit, and then I'll apply some braking. Don't need to go mad on the brakes here. We've still got just under a mile, and then we're down to 30 and 20. So maybe I will give it a bit more as we go through Adderley Park. I just target getting down to 45, and we're all right for the 65. And reduce that a little bit. And there is a Birmingham New Street. A little bit more just to lose that last few. God, we've got a little bit of a downhill there at 20 miles an hour, so I reckon we'll be doing braking there. We probably won't be using the engine a great deal. Because we can coast down to 30. Well, I'll have to brake in a minute. Look, there's another neutral section there, and this thing just has got no redundancy at all. So I'll aim for getting down to 20 actually. Right, just have to watch our speed here because we are about to go downhill. Yes, thank you. So we're on platform 2B, eh? Okay, there's our signal. Right, yeah, look. I'm going to put some brakes on. So look, we are accelerating at quite a rate. Right, 2B is the far platform by the looks of it. Speeding 10 miles an hour? Yeah, that was totally invisible. And look, it was a fucking clean run all the way. I'm not happy with that. Really not happy with that at all. I thought I've done nearly 120 miles in a train I struggle to drive, but I managed to not get a speeding, and there we go, an invisible 10 mile an hour one. Oh, that's fucking fair, isn't it? Right, let's get right up the end. I think because we're on 2B, we'll just go as near to that red signal as we can. Very little point giving it any acceleration because 3 miles an hour is all we got to play with, and we've got a break in a second anyway. Right. There we go. And we're here. Birmingham New Street with a very, very unfair speeding error. But apart from that, and my earlier couple of errors, I reckon that was not a bad run at all. Considering I'm not really comfortable driving that train. So there we go. Let's just see what we got up here. Yeah, speeding once. Jesus Christ. It's 112 miles in this, and we still got a speeding that wasn't our fault. Well, I don't think it was my fault. I mean, if I knew the route better, I'd know about it, but I haven't done that route very much, and last time I did it the other way, I think. However, anyway, it is what it is. So there we go. That was the Class 87 Armstrong Powerhouse on the West Coast Main Line from Euston to Birmingham. And please don't ask for that anytime soon, that train again. Yeah. I mean, I know I'll eventually have to drive it again, but go on. Let's have a break from it. Okay. That wraps this one up, and we will see you on the next one.